So first, can you tell me about Imagine Canada?
Sure. We are a national registered charity whose business is to work with, on behalf of Canada's 86,000 registered charities, 90,000 nonprofits, and 7,000 social entrepreneurs to make sure the operating environment is as good as it can possibly be so that they can deliver services to Canadians.
How did you get involved with BarterPay?
Well, it was actually a conversation through a mutual business colleague. A company that we have used for many years on the public relations front was also doing work with BarterPay. When they had heard about the concept, thought, I wonder if it would actually work for charities. And so just did an introduction. And then once we sort of got John and Debbie's enthusiasm and really the vision for what they were trying to accomplish, it just went from there.
What is it about that vision and their enthusiasm that made you want to get involved and work with them?
Well, I think, first of all, it's always great to work with people who are passionate about what they do. But more importantly, it was incredibly smart. And as we seek to find new ways for businesses to participate with charities and nonprofits, this was just a really well thought out instrument or mechanism that can open up an entire new way of doing business between the private sector and the not-for-profit sector. And in a world where charities are struggling for the resources they need to deliver the services for Canadians, having an entire new avenue open up is just amazing.
How exciting is it to have a system like this that takes business waste and downtime and actually put it to good use?
Well, it's interesting because quite often one of the challenges for businesses is that they're either too busy, they don't want to deeply discount their profit leaders, but finding a system that actually makes money for them in areas where they might have written things off. Makes great fiscal sense. So it removes a barrier. It removes a barrier to that kind of conversation. And in many cases, the services that they provide, the products that they might have to move are the kinds of things that charitable organizations are looking for.
How does it feel tonight to hear these sort of stories and see how this local community has been impacted by BarterPay Forward?
Well, the word for me is hopeful, because lots of great ideas start somewhere. And because the mandate of Imagine Canada is nationwide, to witness, well, I call it the birth, even though it's been around for a while, but really the birth of the BarterPay It Forward component, it's very hopeful to think that celebrations like these could be taking place in different parts of the country in the not too distant future.
Can you see more and more charities getting on board with something like this? I mean, we heard such great feedback from the ones who were here tonight.
Absolutely. And I think hopefully that's one of the contributions that an organization like Imagine Canada can make, where we can help spread the word amongst charities, because they're always looking for new and innovative ways of doing business. And I think it's just a matter of time before they hear about this and say, this is the kind of thing that would really work for us.
Anything else you want to add?
Well, just that we're incredibly grateful for the vision that's been shown. And the other thing that I find really intriguing about this is that the marriage of BarterPay and the BarterPay It Forward Foundation is building this kind of thinking into the DNA of the company. If we have more companies in Canada who think intentionally about how they work with the community, this will strengthen Canada's charitable sector.
Tell you a little story about the kind of impact you're having. Since January, as you mentioned, or late 2019, you saved us almost $90,000. So those kinds of savings would translate into chickens for almost 7,000 families in Cambodia, which gives them a livelihood, or 22,000 textbooks for students in Zambia, or even hygiene supplies that would keep 4,500 girls in school in Burundi. That's the kind of impact it's having. It's really amazing.
Yeah. I'm literally, the hair is standing up on my arm when you say that. Like, thank you for saying that. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's so amazing.
Exactly.
I was looking at some actual data and the numbers. I'm just looking over at this other screen here that I've got. And you mentioned some of the things that you were able to purchase through Fine Line Sign Company, so, tree removal services, Hamilton Vacuum Supply. I'm noticing a transaction there. TikTok Media, 2 banners, Northern LED. It sounds like you guys might have gotten some upgraded lighting that you needed.
That was huge. That was totally huge.
Yeah, in total, out of the 3.5 million or so barter credits that have flowed through our foundation from our members, our business clients, basically 20,000 so far in the last year has gone to the Hamilton Burlington SPCA and been utilized. So
that's incredible.
Yeah, that saves the Hamilton Burlington SPCA about almost 20 grand in cash. Is there a way for you to define sort of like how an extra $20,000 cash, where does that go? Like, obviously it gets redirected to the end cause, but what does that actually translate to?
Just for reference, now we're talking $20,000 here. I'm going to give you the little things that add up to make a huge difference. When animals come into our care, a lot of them require vaccines. A lot of them aren't up to speed with their vaccine records. So $10 goes toward a vaccine for an animal. $25 provides heartworm treatment for a dog when they come into our care. So that can be utterly life-saving. We know the dangers of heartworm and how that can be entirely fatal for animals. So ultimately that $25 can save a dog's life, which is incredible. $50 provides a heartworm test for a dog. $15 provides a microchip, which can help an animal find their way home. So if we take that $20,000 and we break it down into like $10 increments, $25 increments, $50 increments, then you can really see the impact that $20,000 has made. Yeah, that $20,000 went really, really far in helping provide a better happy ending for the animals in our care. So
it's so great. It makes me so happy to have these calls. Niagara Children's Center is just kind of a recent relationship that we've established, and just a couple weeks ago, we were able to direct about 6,000 barter credits your way, which I believe you guys kind of converted into other products that you could then flow back through your online auction and convert back into cash. Now, when that happens and it produces another $6,000 worth of cash value, like cash for the organization, can you define kind of how what that means for Niagara Children's Center in terms of having an extra $6,000 cash to be able to put towards your end cause? Like, what would you do with those types of funds?
So absolutely. I think first, the most important thing is really just to thank the BarterPay members for stepping forward and wanting to support organizations like Niagara Children's Center. When we heard that we were going to be the recipient of 6,000 BarterPay credits, we were definitely excited that BarterPay members were interested and able to support the good work taking place at Niagara Children's Center, and we were very moved by that. We fortunately also had an online auction that was taking place. This is the second year we've been doing our online auction, and anybody that's done an online auction before would know that they do take time and human resources away from other projects that you're working on. So to be gifted 6,000 credits that we were able to purchase items that we can put in our auction really helps keep cost of fundraising lower and using our human resource time in a more efficient manner. So it's an investment in not only our organization, but also our capacity to do more for our community.
What would have cost us close to $20,000 cost us closer to $2,000, maybe $3,000, but such a big savings for us that we're able to put back into caring for animals. It might be a few $1,000s for a surgery, and this has helped us be able to redirect those funds to help those animals. So the bottom line is that BarterPay has saved animals' lives, if you can believe that.
Yeah, that's amazing. And then just redirecting the spotlight right back to our members, 3.5 million barter credits have been generated from our members that get donated to our foundation that we're able to distribute to charities across the country like Lincoln County Humane Society, who again can go use those barter credits to reduce their admin and overhead.
I'm really excited to be here tonight. I mean, when John said he'll give me a minute, I said, no, I need more than that because I have so much to say about BarterPay. BarterPay has infused into our organization close to $300,000. It's incredible. really, when you think of it.
Can you tell me a little bit about your organization?
Okay, Niagara Life Center is a counseling organization that deals with all kinds of life issues. We see children, we see seniors, we see people dealing with marital issues. Actually, the marital counseling is one of our highest scores, as well as mental health. Mental health has become a huge monster in our community.
And how has Barter Pay It Forward helped?
Well, what can I say? Where do I start? BarterPay has been incredible. So the silent auction has become a big part of our biggest event, our gala in October. So we could not do that event without BarterPay, really, because we have over 650 guests there. And for everyone to get an equal experience, we need screens, we need videos, we need sounds, we need all these things that otherwise a charity like us could not afford. Through BarterPay, we are able to afford these companies. You go to your broker and it tells you, here, okay, call this person. It's like magic. Honestly, I just cannot say enough about them. They are truly our official partners. All the money we make in our silent auction is infused right back into client services. We just moved 2 years ago to a bigger building with a bigger property, and I'm thinking, how are we going to do the landscaping for this? But sure enough, John says, we have a landscaper on BarterPay, you can do this, don't worry about it, Niagara Outdoors will be there. But I would not afford to landscaping services. We wouldn't afford the video, the beautiful quality videos that they do for our promotions. We wouldn't afford, like, our silent auction is truly the talk of town when it happens, and it's because of BarterPay. And the money we raise through it goes right back into client services. BarterPay has infused into our organization close to $300,000. It's incredible, really, when you think of it. But there's so many services we need that we can't afford, that if it wasn't for them, we just wouldn't. And I just want to tell the world that. They want to support more charities, they want to impact the community more, and I want to tell the world what a good thing it is. Tell the charities that it's a win-win. You can't go wrong by, joining the BarterPay family.
It's nice that 35, 40,000 barter credits have gone from our foundation over to Jillian's Place, which results in about $35,000 to $40,000 in cash, savings that can be redirected to the end cause. What does that mean? Like, what's the impact that an extra $35,000 cash can have for Jillian's Place? Like,
about 30% of our operating budget every year is reliant on support from the community, and we're always strapped, in terms of funding, especially a few of our priority programs. They don't receive enough government funding, and so we know that every year we have to sustain those programs ourselves. And so, an extra $35,000 certainly helps us. And just in the pandemic alone, we've had so many unforeseen costs and challenges where we've had to hire additional staff, extra cleaning staff, extra kitchen support staff, and now extra direct service support staff too, because the demands on our service. So extra $35,000 is never turned away and is put to really good use.
When I scan your account here, Orlando, I know that we've hit almost $125,000 in barter credits that have flowed from our members to our foundation back out to One Voice, One Team, and already been utilized back within the marketplace to offset some of those costs. There are things like SEO and printing and business machines and backpacks.
Really and truly, I don't even know how, obviously you could put a price on it, but some of the impacts have been priceless in terms of how the effect it has on community, like real effect, has been so powerful. It's really been a game changer. So recognizing the need to engage in some of the back-end services and the expertise that has been made available through BarterPay has been transformative for us. And we've been able to really level up in the way, not just the way that we operate behind the scenes, but what the end user's experience is because of some of those items.
Yeah, amazing. I love seeing this list. I mean, I literally have to scroll my mouse for a good 60 seconds here to get through all the transactions that have been put together. when a charity joins BarterPay, obviously they get an account, they're able to do transactions, they're able to receive barter credits that have come from our foundation through our amazing superhero clients, we call them, who are generating those barter credits. As much as our donors like hearing bigger numbers, and ultimately the true impact is defined in a different way, right? And so maybe you could just let us know, like, in 4 months, having an extra $30,000 in cash flow available for the organization, what that might translate into, real brass tacks sort of, impact.
$50 gets a patient half an hour with our patient care specialist. $30,000 is about 1,200 half an hour sessions for patients with our patient care specialist. So if you think about that in terms of actual time for patients to be able to be supported. So that's really what it translates to for
Amazing.
us.
That's awesome. That's only over 4 months. We hope to be able to extrapolate that number right across a year and then, multiple years. And so obviously we want to partner for the long term. I was kind of scanning through your account here, and I noticed even just in the few short years that you've been working with us, almost 20,000 barter credits have gone from our Barter Paid Forward Foundation, which were generated by our clients, the real life superheroes, and distributed to OCF, who've in turn used them on things like, I was just scanning through here, Target Digital Marketing, a booklet, Pinnacle Litho, I think numerous transactions there for probably your annual report of some sort, Little Mushroom Catering for some catering. There's even a video here from Drone Hub. Maybe, all these things, offsetting admin and overhead costs is super important for charities.
I will say everyone we've worked with, all of the vendors we've worked with through BarterPay have been both excellent to work with. Their products are really good, but also take an interest in what we're doing because we do exciting things here. And so we've been really happy to connect with the businesses. So the drone video was a fun one. We have heritage trails throughout Oakville that exist. We're a growing community and we are growing north of Dundas. Lots of new families coming here and so in desperate need of trails. Working with Drone Hub was an absolute pleasure. They developed a fantastic drone video. We've been able to use that video to go to our board, our partners, the community to very quickly and easily share what it is we have and what it is we'd like to continue to grow. Very impactful video and has actually brought people to tears, I must say,
Really?
when they're watching it because it was so beautifully done.
This video, I would imagine too, might not have been an item that was in the budget to spend $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 on video production in actual, donor cash or Oakville Community Foundation funds, right? So having access to barter credits, it seems to me actually allowed the OCF to do something that maybe they normally wouldn't do in the regular budget, but that has had so much impact that actually creates even more budget and more funds to be able to distribute. So that's a really cool spin on it.
There are no fees to our program. So it enables us to continue offering our programs for our students and young adults at no cost to them.
Right.
And that's where our savings make such a huge difference. I mean, there are many organizations out there that have fees that they charge the schools for the work that they do. We're not even charging the schools a fee. The beautiful thing about it is that they're actually making a donation contribution to our organization because of the fact that we're giving back so much. So we would not be able to do that without these savings. So it all kind of works like 360 circle, right?
So what I hear you saying is really the barter credits that our members are donating to our foundation, which then a portion of those go through to Dare to Be Youth and then utilized, being able to free up that amount of cash is actually really helping you even exist and be able to do what you're doing for free.
Exist and grow and expand our programs. And yes, it's all because of that.